students. I am Dr. Shikha Pandey, Associate Professor from the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So today I am going to discuss about the deforestation and desertification. As from previously, we are discussing about the global environmental problem. So in terms of global environmental problem, we are coming at that stage where we have already discussed about the global warming, climate change, and sea level rise, ozone depletion, and all these problems are interconnected and interlinked with each other. So in terms of in continuation of with this lecture, with already discussed lecture, next topic is there, that is deforestation. And deforestation is also related with the global environment change and pollution. So first of all, we will discuss about what is deforestation, what the basic meaning of deforestation. So deforestation is the removal of forest or stands of tree where the land thereafter converted to a non-forest use. Means what? Deforestation is the removal of forest or a stand of tree. Means where at any place there is a removal of tree. If we remove the tree, that is the main basic meaning about the deforestation. And when some place is there and that is a full of forest, and that if you will remove that trees, that is called as deforestation, and you will convert that land into a non-forest use, then that is called as deforestation. And the main examples of deforestation is the conversion of forest land to the farms, ranches, or urban use. Means deforestation, why deforestation is done? It is done due to for the conversion of forest land into a farms, some ranches, or some urban uses. So this is the main reason for the deforestation. Why we are doing deforestation? We are doing deforestation for the development of urbanization, for the development of buildings and all these things, and it will convert the forest land, totally forest land, into a non-forest land or farm. So this is about the deforestation. Means the removal of forest or stands of tree for the converted into a non-forest use. And it was estimated that 18 million acres, like 7.3 million hectares of forest, which is roughly the size of a country in Panama, means that is about that 7.3 million hectares, means it is roughly about the size of a country in Panama, are lost each year. Every year this is lost in every year, according to a report from the United Nations, that is FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, has given a report that every year 18 million, like 7.3 million hectare of lands, that has been converted into a non-forest use, and that has been lost for this deforestation purpose. They are doing for deforestation, and in the country of Panama. And over half of the tropical forest worldwide had been destroyed since the 1960s, and every second more than 1 hectare of tropical forest is destroyed or drastically degraded and destroyed. Means over half of the tropical forest worldwide the ratio is like that. Every year over half of the tropical forest has been destroyed from the year 1960, and every second more than 1 hectare of tropical forest is destroyed and drastically degraded. So this deforestation is a very old process that is already happening from the year 1960. And every second, it was given in a report, like every second 1 hectare of tropical forest is destroyed and drastically degraded for this urbanization purpose. So this deforestation is done for the urbanization purpose only, because only for urbanization and for the development of more industries, for more buildings, for more and more properties making, they are destroying the forest. And this for deforestation is not a new thing. That is happening from the very old process, very old time. And this tropical, it has been destroyed since the 1960s. And it has been given in a report, like in every second more than 1 hectare of tropical forest is destroyed or drastically degraded due to this human behavior or human activity. And all these problems that is related with the pollution, that is related with the global warming, is only human made and anthropogenic. All these are the reason of this deforestation is the human activity. And this human activity is again linked with the population growth, because due to more population, more demand of food, more demand of shelter is there, and for fulfillment of all these demands and shelter, people are destroying the forest, people are destroying some good farmland into a non-farmland area. So this deforestation is a very big issue in today's problem, today's, and all this climate related problem is due to this deforestation, because this deforestation leads to the change in the monsoon category. And this, because of cutting of trees, all these issues related with the environmental issue is connected with this deforestation process. Now comes to the next slide. This is a picture about deforestation. Like you can see that a very good farmland is again converted into a cutting forest. This is called as deforestation. Means if we will talk about very natural, like it is the cutting of tree is called as deforestation. Cutting of trees is called as deforestation. So one good farmland is converted into a non-forest farmland is called as deforestation. And deforestation is a very big issue in today's world, because all environmental issues is related with the deforestation only. All environmental issue like the climate change, or the delay in the monsoon, or the drastically weather change, like sometimes you feel more hot, sometimes suddenly more cold is there. So all are interlinked and interconnected with this pollution, and all are due to this deforestation only. So this is a picturization of deforestation. Now comes to the next thing, that is about the what will happen in this deforestation. So the degradation and loss of forest threatens the survival of many species and reduce the ability of us to provide essential services. Like this deforestation will do the loss of forests, and that will threaten the survival of many species and reduces the ability of forest to provide essential services. The degradation and loss of forest threatens the survival of many species and reduce the ability of forest to provide essential services. This will threaten the survival of many species, and it will reduce the ability of forest to provide some essential services. And now comes to the next point. This is like a deforestation and forest degradation impacts the life of 1.6 billion people. It will directly affect the life of 1.6 billion people, because these people are living around the forest, and their livelihood activity, their day to day activity, all are connected with the forest one, and 1 million of them are among the world's poorest population that are totally dependent on the forest, and they are connected with the forest, like their rituals is there, they are doing worship of their forest. But nowadays people are cutting all these trees for the name of urbanization, and many 1.6 billion people and their livelihood, it depends on forest, and 1 billion of them are among the world's poorest forest people are there. Now we are going to discuss about the causes of deforestation. Means why people are doing this deforestation too much, and why this deforestation, the reason behind this deforestation. First one is the agriculture activity. Agriculture activity means it is the main factor for that is affecting deforestation. So as per given by the report of FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization of the UNO, that said that agriculture leads to around 80% of deforestation. Due to the overgrowing demands of food products, a huge amount of trees are felled to grow crops. And 33% of agriculture caused deforestation is because of the subsistence agriculture. So agriculture activities are very much one of the significant factor, one of the main factor for this deforestation. And according to the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, agriculture leads to around 80% of deforestation due to the overgrowing demands of food crops. And this overgrowing demands of food crops is due to the overpopulation. And a huge amount of trees are felled to grow crop, and many trees are felled to grow crop, and 33% of agriculture cause deforestation is because of subsistence agriculture. 33% of agriculture cause deforestation, and it is because of the subsistence agriculture. means agriculture not in a subsistence manner, like they are doing agriculture where they want to do, and this and the reason for this thing is the zoom cultivation and shifting cultivation. They will do cultivation at one place, and after 1 or 2 year of doing that cultivation, they will shift to another place. This is called as shifting cultivation, or sometimes zoom cultivation is also there. The same thing is there in zoom cultivation also. So that will reduce the productivity of land, and that will reduce the ability of land to grow again. And next one is the livestock ranching. Livestock ranching is again a more important factor for the removal of this deforestation. And what will happen in the livestock ranching, the like livestock are the responsible for about 14% of the global deforestation. Means global 14% of deforestation is due to this livestock ranching. And what will happen that farmers sometimes clear the land by cutting down tree and burning them to raise their livestock and grow food. And what will happen due to this, in these days people are getting more non-vegetarians. Because of that, farmers need more and more livestock because the demands of meat is more. And due to that, farmers often clear the land by cutting down trees and burning them to raise their livestock and grow food. They will grow food at that place, and they continue to use the property until the soil is completely degraded. They will do use that particular land until when the property soil is completely degraded. Means they will degrade that crop, that soil, and then that will be unfit for the agriculture purpose. And they will again repeat the same process to a new land also. So this livestock ranching is a very big issue and very serious issue for this deforestation. Because so what will happen, a farmer will clear down the trees by cutting trees and by cutting down tree and burning them to raise livestock and grow food, and then continue to use the property until the soil is completely degraded. And again farmer will going to continue to use that particular area until the property will be soil will be completely degraded, and then they will go to shift to the different place, and now that place also going to be degraded. That soil will also reduce to degrade property. So this is livestock ranching is a very serious issue for the causes of deforestation. Next point is that deforestation is the illegal logging. What will happen in the illegal logging, like some wood based industries is there. Wood based industries is there, and that industry will cut the wood, like for the use of papers, for the use of matchstick, furnitures, etc. And they also need a substantial amount of wood supply. So they will need more amount of wood supply. So for fulfillment of this wood supply, wood is used as fuel both directly and indirectly, and therefore trees are chopped for meeting the demand for supplies. Firewood and charcoal are example of wood being used as a fuel. So firewood and charcoal are the example for that wood, and they have been used as a fuel. For the when sometime what will they will do, like the illegal logging of wood they will do, of wood they will do. So some wood industries is are there, that industry will demand more wood. So to fulfill that demand of industries of wood, so they will make by the paper, matchstick, furniture by the use. And they sometimes they need substantial amount of wood supply, and wood is also as a fuel. Sometimes both directly and indirectly also, because directly they will use wood as a fuel, and indirectly they will use wood to make papers, to make a matchstick, for furniture also. So this is called as come in the terms of illegal logging of wood. And therefore trees are chopped for meeting the demand of supplies. They will chop more and more trees. Sometimes they will chop the green trees also. Then and firewood and charcoal are the examples of the wood that are being used as a fuel. And next point is the urbanization. Urbanization is for urbanization. What will happen in the urbanization process? As we have already discussed about the urbanization, is like overpopulation to directly affect the forest cover. As with the expansion of cities, more land is required, and more land is needed to establish the housing and settlement. Therefore forest land is reclaimed. This is called as urbanization. So because overpopulation is there, and that overpopulation directly affect forest cover. As with the expansion of cities, more land is needed to establish housing and settlement. Therefore, forest land is reclaimed. They will reclaim the forest land for the settlement of more and more trees, for the settlement of because the population is increasing, and due to more population, more shelter they will demand, and they will need expansion of cities. More land is needed to establish housing and settlement. Therefore, land forest land is reclaimed. Now comes to the next point of the reason of deforestation. The is like a desertification of land. Sometimes desertification will also occur, and it is occur on the land use that making unfit for the growth of tree or for the agriculture also. And many industries in petrochemicals release their waste into the river, which results in soil erosion and make it unfit to grow plants and trees. Means waste generated from the petrochemical industries, so they will discharge that waste into the river, and that will result into the soil erosion and make it unfit to grow plants and tree. It occurs because of the sometimes land will be abused by just throwing out the petrochemical waste into the land, and this will causes the soil erosion, and due to that soil erosion, the productivity of land is reduced, and that will make it unfit to grow plants and trees. And next point for that deforestation is the mining activities also causes the deforestation. What will happen in the mining is like oil and coal mining require a more amount of forest land. Apart from these, road and highway have to build to make way for trucks and other equipments. The waste that coming out from the mining pollute the environment and forest the nearby species. What will in the mining, for the mining process, they will need more land they will need, and also for more land they will need road and highways also. Very much important, because for the big trucks and for big trucks and for other equipments, they need good roads and highways. And the waste that is coming out from mining activity pollute the environment and affect the nearby species. So this mining is also a reason for deforestation. For this deforestation process, mining activity requires a considerable amount of forest land. They will cut the land, then they will establish their mining area, and after stabilizing their mining area, they have built a good road and good road for their trucks and other equipments, because mining will make more equipments is there, and they will need more amounts of some substance, some things. For that they will make the highways, and truck will come, and for their all the establishment, more and more amount of lands they will need it, and they will clear the land by cutting the forest and the waste that coming out from mining activities. And again, one more negative impact of this mining activities, the waste, they will pollute the environment, and they will affect the nearby species also. So this is the bad impact of mining on the environment. Mining in any way very much dangerous for the environment, because mining will destroy the land. Mining waste they will throw out in the environment, that will pollute the environment. So sometimes air pollution, sometimes water pollution is also there. And for the land, they will cut the tree, and after cutting the tree, soil erosion is again coming out with this mining activity. So mining activity is very much dangerous for the environment, and it is also a reason for the deforestation, as we have already discussed. Now comes to the next reason for this deforestation. Is first is the forest fire. Forest fire is the natural cause for deforestation. What will happen? Hundreds of trees are lost each year due to forest fire in various portions of the world. It happened due to extreme warm summer or milder winter. Fires, whether caused by man or nature, results in a massive loss of forest cover. What will happen in the forest fire is like many of the trees, hundreds of the trees are lost every year due to the reason of this forest fire in various portions of the world. And this forest fire is a global problem among the world. Sometimes this this forest fire is caused by a natural cause also, and sometimes it is caused by human or man also, because sometimes they will they will burn the forest to make the new for new crops or for the livestock rancing, whatever be the reason, they will do like that. So the hundreds of trees are lost each year due to forest fire in various portions of the world, and it happens due to extreme warm summer and milder winter. Sometimes extreme summer is there, two trees are getting are impacted with each other, compacted with each other, and then that forest fire will occur, and that results in the massive loss of forest fire. Next point about this cause of deforestation is the paper demand. So according to the Environment Paper Network, the paper that's thrown away each year accounts for approximately 640 million trees. So the how much paper we are destroying, we are throwing every year will approximately cover 640 million trees. And then many countries like America, China, Canada, Japan constitute more than that of world's paper production, and that is 400 million tons a year. This is they are the main contributor toward that paper reason, and that constitute more than all the top countries like America, China, Canada, Japan constitute more than that of world's paper production, and that is 400 million tons a year. So if we will recycle that paper, that could save almost about 27.5 million tons of carbon dioxide from going out into the atmosphere. So the paper is again a very major issue for this deforestation. And as it has been given from a World Environment on Paper Network, they have given a report like that. The approximately 640 million trees has been destroyed every year for this paper production, and the top leading countries like America, China, Canada, Japan constitute more than that of world's paper production, and that is 400 million tons a year. So if we recycle, that could save 27.5 million tons of carbon dioxide from going into the atmosphere. So now comes to the next reason for this deforestation is like, first one is the climate. Now this is we are discussing about the effects of deforestation, means the effects of deforestation, what will happen with this deforestation. So first one is the climate imbalance and climate change. So this climate imbalance will occur due to this deforestation. Some imbalance in the climate will occur due to this deforestation. As we already knows that the forests are the lungs of our planet, and trees take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen and water vapor in the air, and that is why tropical rainforests are extremely humid, and that is why tropical rainforests are very much important. Tree also provides shade that keep the soil moist. All these are compromised with the lack of trees. And next point is that it lead to the imbalance in the atmospheric temperature. Sometimes drier climate and further the making condition for the ecology that difficult the leads to climate change. And next point is like that the forest and climate are linked intrinsically, and forest loss and degradation are both a cause and effects of our changing climate. So forest and climate are the interlinked, and the forest loss and degradation are both a cause for effects of our changing climate. Means forest loss and climate change both are interlinked with each other, and this is the reason for the imbalance in the climate. And trees sometimes will provide shade that keep the soil moist, and all are and when we will remove the trees, that will lack of the trees, and that soil will going to be dry, and this is because of the dryness sometimes erosion will also occur, and it leads to imbalance in the atmospheric temperature. It will create drier climate, and making that condition for the ecology that is very difficult to lead in that climate change. And that deforestation is also a reason for the loss of biodiversity also, because those biodiversity that is living in that particular forest are lost, and extinction of species is also the reason of is also due to that deforestation. Extinction of species is also due to this deforestation, is also an effect of this deforestation. And next is the increase in global warming. So a tree play a major role in controlling global warming. the tree utilize greenhouse gases, restoring the balance in the atmosphere. With constant deforestation, the ratio of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere has increased. That will add to our global warming woes. So this tree is a play an important role in controlling the global warming. So when tree will what the tree will do, they will utilize the greenhouse gases and restoring the balance in the atmosphere, increasing global warming, and tree play a major role in controlling global warming. And next is the increase in greenhouse gas emission. Forests help to mitigate carbon dioxide and other toxic greenhouse gas emission. However, once they are cut, burned, or otherwise removed, they become a carbon source. And it is estimated that deforestation is responsible for around 20% of greenhouse gas emission. And due to tropical deforestation, 1.5 billion of carbon is released everywhere in the atmosphere. So this greenhouse gases increase in greenhouse gases is also due to this deforestation causes is also due to this deforestation, and that forest has to mitigate carbon dioxide and other toxic chemicals, greenhouse gas emission. And sometimes when they are cut, burned, and otherwise removed, they became the source of carbon source. And it has been estimated that deforestation is responsible for around 20% of greenhouse gas emission. And due to tropical deforestation, 1.5 billion tons of carbon is released everywhere in the atmosphere. So next effects due to that deforestation is the soil erosion. So trees are also crucial for our local water cycle, and they keep on returning water vapors to the atmosphere. What will happen? Next point is about the soil remain moist as rainwater percolate within the soil. And the next point is like that the soil fertility is held in a place by intricate root structure and many layers of tree. With the clearance of tree cover, the land is directly exposed to the sun, making it dry. With the removal of clearance of tree cover, that land will directly expose to the sun, and that will make it dry. And like next point is like that without trees, erosion often occur and sweep the land into nearby rivers and streams. Forest serves as a nature's water purification plant. Soil erosion makes soil exposed to contaminants that leach into the water supply, that damage the quality of our drinking water. Soil erosion makes soil exposed to the contaminants that leach into the water supply, that damage the quality of our drinking water. So these are the effects of deforestation on the soil erosion. Soil erosion is an important factor that is also occur also due to that deforestation. And now comes to the next point. This is about the floods. Floods will also cause due to that deforestation. So what will happen when it rains? Trees absorb and store a large amount of water with the help of their roots. When they are cut down, the flow of water is disturbed and the soil loses its ability to retain water, and it leads to flood in some areas and drought in other areas also. Sometimes flood and drought both are connected with that deforestation. And a large amount of water with the help of their roots, tree will absorb large amount of water with the help of their roots. And if we'll remove that tree, if we'll cut down the tree, the flow of water is disrupted, and that will lose the ability of soil to retain the water, and it leads to flood in some area, and sometimes drought in other areas also, because they will water will going from one area where more water is there, sometimes no water is there. So this is both condition is all occurred due to this deforestation. And next one is the wildlife extinction and habitat loss. Wildlife extinction is also due to this deforestation. Due to the massive felling down of trees, various animal species are lost. They lost their habitat and also forced to move to a new location. That will causes their scattered habitat. Because of that cutting of tree, scattered habitat is there, and many of them are pushed to extinction because their habitat has been lost. Some species and their habitat has been lost, and due to that extinction of species will occur. Next is the food insecurity in the future. Deforestation of food may result in the food insecurity in the future. This is a very important point about this deforestation, like food insecurity in coming future. So currently 52% of all the land used for food production in moderately or severely impacted by soil erosion. So in the long term, the lack of fertile soil can lead to low yield and food insecurity. Food sometimes currently 52% of the lands has been used for the food production. And next point is about the loss of biodiversity. Deforestation leads to huge loss of biodiversity. About 80% of the global biodiversity is located in tropical rainforest, and forests not only provide for wildlife but also foster medicinal conservation. And the forests act as a critical medium to preserve the wide variety of species. So loss of biodiversity is also a reason for the deforestation, as we have already discussed in the previous lecture, the loss of biodiversity. So now here again it is linked with the deforestation also. It is linked with the climate change and global warming. So all global environmental problems are interlinked and interconnected. So loss of biodiversity is also is an effect of deforestation also. Now we are going to discuss about the some solution to that deforestation. So what we can do is the awareness and education among some people, some layman people who don't know about the bad effects of deforestation. So if we will aware and educate the people who don't know that the bad effects, so maybe that will save some of the tree. Enforcement of the Forest Conservation Act. Already government has made a Forest Conservation Act. So enforcement of that act is very much important. Next one is the restriction of using forest land for urbanization and industrialization, and organizing tree plantation activity. And next point is the reservation and maintaining biodiversity park. So these are all these 5 points are the solution to the deforestation. If we will take these points seriously, if we will follow all these things seriously, some of the forest will save in for coming future. And next point is we are going to discuss about the desertification. So as we have already discussed about the deforestation, now comes to the next topic. This is desertification. So what is desertification? Desertification is again interlinked with the deforestation. It is interlinked with the global warming. It is interlinked with the climate change also. So desertification is the expansion of dry land due to poor agriculture practices. Due to poor agriculture practices, the expansion of dry land will be expand. Dry land will be increased. And what is that poor agriculture practices? It is like due to that overgrazing and degradation of soil fertility and sometimes soil structure also. So due to overgrazing, degradation of soil fertility and soil structure, the expansion of dry land is called as desertification. And the main two factors for desertification is the climatic variation and human activities can be regarded as the two main cause of desertification. So two main cause of desertification is that of climate activities and human activity. Climatic variations, that variation in the climate, and this variation will occur due to that human behavior, due to the global warming, greenhouse gas. This will causes that if that variation in the climatic variation, global warming, all caused due to, this is the reason for the desertification. This is the causes for the desertification that are the main factor that is responsible for the desertification. Now comes to the reason for the desertification is the process by which fertile land become a desert land due to natural or man-made activity. So what will happen? It is a process from where a fertile land become a desert. It will a very good fertile land again drastically change into a desert kind of land is called as desertification. And the main factors for desertification is the deforestation is again due to loss of habitat and cutting of trees is deforestation. Next one is the overgrazing. Overgrazing by the cattle is also the reason for the desertification. Climate change is again a reason for the desertification. Unsustainable agriculture means over-exploitation of agriculture activity, use of more and more pesticides is also affected, reducing the ability of a soil, and that will making that soil unfit for the agriculture, and that will converting the good soil into a desertification, a desert kind of area. Irresponsible irrigation means over irrigation. Flooding and topsoil erosion, soil erosion and flood is also the reason. And next one is the soil pollution. So all these factors are responsible for the desertification. And desertification nothing but the process by which a fertile land become a desert land due to the natural or human made activity. Now comes to the next point. This is about the what will happen in the climatic variation. So the climate change, drought, moisture loss on a global level is the climatic variation. Next one is the human activity. These include overgrazing, deforestation, and removal of natural vegetation cover by taking too much fuel. Agricultural activity in the vulnerable ecosystem of arid and semi-arid areas, which are thus strained beyond their capacity. These activities are triggered by the population growth, the impact of market economy, and poverty. Population level of the vulnerable dry land have a close relationship with development process on land by human activities, which are one of the principal cause of desertification. So these are the main cause of desertification. Why this is the climatic variation and human activity and the population level for the of the vulnerable dry land have a close relationship with development pressure on the land by human activity, and they are the main principal cause of deforestation. So this is the chart about the process of deforestation. What will happen with more population growth, more food, fuel, and housing demand increases, shelter will increase, and then grassland is overgrazed, and after overgrazing the soil become bare. And next one is the climatic change. Less rain is there. This will again causes the soil will become bare, and then what will happen, the soil is eroded by wind and water, and then that will causes the land become infertile, no plant grow, land become desert. So more soil degradation, more soil degradation will make that soil no infertile, and that land become the desert. And for these two reasons, trees are cut down also. So deforestation is again coming here. Deforestation and desertification both are interlinked and interconnected with each other, because desertification is occurred due to that deforestation, and that is called as deforestation. And now this is the effects of deforestation. So what will happen after desertification? There is a destruction of topsoil, loss of land ability to sustain crops, livestock, or human activity, increase in the price of agriculture goods, threaten livelihood of vulnerable population on planet, increase in the intensity of wildfire and winds. So these are the effects of desertification. What will happen? There is a destruction of topsoil and loss of land's ability to sustain crops, livestock, or human activity. Increases in the price of agricultural goods. Obviously, land is not much fertile, so the price of agricultural goods will increase, and that will threaten livelihood of vulnerable population on planet. It will threaten the vulnerable population on this planet, and then increase in the intensity of wildfire and winds. So these are the effects of desertification that will occur due to that deforestation. So what will be the solution of desertification? So first one is the, if we will shift on the plant-based diet, that will reduce the overuse of that cattle and livestock raising also. And now if we will shift on the vegetarian diet, more the demand of meat will increase, and due to that demand, livestock raising will increase, and they will do cattle overgrazing will also causes desertification. Next one is the shop locally, grow and produce to reduce carbon footprint and sustain local agriculture and livelihood. Next point is the reduce food waste by buying only what you need and how much you need. Means we will reduce the food waste. Reduce food waste. And next point is the swipe of the chemical grade fertilizer for homemade compost and manure. Organic compost and manure should be used. Organic compost and manure should be used, and create green space by engaging in tree planting at individual and corporate level. Next point is the plant green roof to cool home in the summer and regulate temperature in the winter also. Means plant the green roof to cool home in the summer and regulate temperature in the winter also. So this is the solution to desertification. We should shift on the plant-based diet. Next point is that the shop locally growing produce to reduce the carbon footprint. And next one, the reduce food waste by buying only what you need and how much you need. Then swap out the chemicals, fertilizer, and homemade compost. Organic compost should be used. Next one is the create green space by engaging the tree planting at individual and corporate level. Next point is the plant green roof to cool home in the summer and regulate temperature in the winter. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.